This is my 1958 Ford F100. This truck is one of my greatest failures. I bought this thing 15 years ago and I never finished it. Worse than that, I've never even driven it. And in this video, we are taking the first steps towards changing that. All right, so the first thing we need to do is clean up around this truck because as you can see, it is buried in viscera from having sat for so darn long. And I have learned from experience, the first thing you need to do in a project like this is to just go ahead and clean up all the way around it so you can easily get to it and work on it, because once you get it cleaned up, you're way more likely to work on it. Gotta be honest, I'm not looking forward to this. So I did in fact buy this truck 15 years ago. So I was 13 years old and I saw this sitting in an elderly lady's yard in my hometown, and it was love at first sight. I just absolutely loved the thing. Back then it was red with a white top and it just looked like a good old truck. So I told my dad, I really want this truck. It is just so cool. Of course, back then I didn't have any money, but my dad stopped and checked on it and he picked the thing up for $500. Of course, back then, $500 for one of these trucks was about the going rate. You couldn't really get rid of these things. But you couldn't tell me that. I was absolutely tickled with it, and I got a summer job to pay for it. Back then, it was just a no-nonsense 6-cylinder with a 3-speed on the column. Just a good old-fashioned truck. And it even ran pretty good, too. I remember my father taking it up the road, but being 13, I immediately ruined it. I had big dreams of that small block Ford with a 4-speed, and I ripped the thing completely apart. And here it has sat for 15 years. All right, so here we go. I got everything cleaned out. That was a lot of work. I can see the floor, and I should not be proud of that. But we're finally done. So I want to show you the truck, talk about it for a minute, so we're all on the same page as to what's going on with it. So this started life as a 58 F100 short bed fleet side. The bed is elsewhere in storage, as is the hood. Engine's just your plain Jane 302 Ford. It has a knockoff Summit intake manifold. It bums me out to see how dirty this engine is because once upon a time it looked pretty good. Cheap eBay distributor. Not a fan of this. I will throw this out the first chance I get. It does have power steering. It goes to a CCP power steering conversion box. It has all new brake lines, ran, but you can see 13-year-old me didn't know much about running brake lines. I kind of omitted the coils that kind of make up for flex, and everything is super tight. I wouldn't trust that for very long. The clutch is hydraulic. It did work. I have no idea if it works now. I know I said it had a 4-speed. Don't get excited. It's an SROD. A single rail overdrive. This 4-speed came in like Mustangs, like Fox bodies. Not really designed for any sort of spirited driving. They do have overdrive, which is kind of nice. I really wanted to do a T5 swap. I really did. I have a T5 and everything. We're not gonna do that because it would take too much time and have to change a bunch of stuff. That works, so it's gonna stay. There's the air unit that I've just left neglected laying in the front seat. That was a good idea. The column is an I did it. I originally bought a cheap Chinese column. Never buy a cheap Chinese column. They are horrible, they break. Mine broke literally almost as soon as I bought it. Now suspension wise, it does have the stock straight axle, but it's been lowered 4.5 inches in the front, I think it was, and 4 in the back. And that was done using a monoleaf spring specifically for this truck. You could buy this back in the day. Yeah, the rear end stock, obviously been leaking a little bit. Probably not gonna worry about that. This isn't even exhaust pipe. This is 3-inch EMT electrical tubing. Yeah, we're gonna have to run a complete exhaust. This is a Tanks incorporated tank mounted back here where the spare tire would have been. The frame has been boxed and notched so that I could come out and come to the edge of the bed. With a fuel fill, yeah, we're probably just gonna cut a hole in the bed and put a spout right there. Again, you know, we can fix all that later. The thing about something like this is you want to get it on the road as quick as possible, enjoy it while you can, and fix the rest later. It'll give you something to do, you know? Brakes are stock in the rear, but the fronts are using a Speedway kit for disc brakes. And originally when I put this together, I tried to bleed the brakes for the first time. and I never ever could get them to bleed. And one day, multiple years later, I was doing something else in this shop. I remember distinctly, I dropped something and I reached under here to get it, and I realized that the calipers were upside down. They were swapped left to right, so the bleed screw was on the bottom. They were never gonna bleed the air out. Again, come on, man, I was young, I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm gonna do all of this at some point too. That's gonna be a big hurdle to get over because I don't like doing body work. I've done it a couple of times and it turns out fine. I just don't like doing it. I ended up putting this sill plate and both cab corners in it a couple of years ago. The floor pans are flat metal and they're too thick for the job. They're laid over the old pans that have holes in them and just welded over top. That I did a long time ago. I was probably 13, 14 years old. You know, decent for back then. But yeah, definitely not something I'd do right now. It's got a dolphin gauge panel, very, very dated. This was all the rage 10 years ago, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but I'm gonna run it anyway. I spent a lot of money on this truck, like from summer jobs and stuff, only to never drive it. So in this next clip, I forgot to turn the shotgun mic around and I lost all my audio. Now, I don't really remember exactly what I said, but I'm gonna try my best to fill in those gaps.
Look at me, waving my hands like an idiot. I'm gonna point it at the truck for a minute. I don't even know why. Yep, pointing at garbage now. I'm so good at this YouTube stuff, I'm gonna be famous. My mama says I'm special.
That's almost word for word, I'm pretty sure. All right, so we cleaned up around the truck. Now I'm gonna clean up the truck itself. When you're dealing with a project like this that you have let sit for so many years, it will make you feel so much better to clean it up and get it back looking at least close to its former glory. Now here you can see me mounting that grill, and I'm doing that for the YouTube thumbnail, of course, but I'm also doing it for motivational purposes. Never underestimate the power of little things like this to renew your motivation and get you excited about a project again. I also decided to go ahead and wash the engine bay because this thing has been sitting with the hood off for most of those 15 years and is absolutely covered in dust and grease and other unspeakable substances. I'm hoping that once I get this cleaned up, my heart will drop just a little bit less when I look at this thing. All this is now dry. It doesn't look as good as it did when I painted it. It's holding up okay. I mean, you see it bubbling and it's flaking and peeling down here some. I mean, you know, for what it is, it's gonna be okay. It's a driver. I can't stand it. We gotta clean these wheels too. Look how dirty they are. Oh my God. If you're enjoying this video, consider hitting that thumbs up button. It helps YouTube to know this is a good video. And if you want to see this truck again, consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell. That way you'll get notified when those videos come out. All right, so the wheels turned out okay. They all pretty much look the same. They have some gray speckles on them that need to be cleaned up, polished. You can probably guess I'm not going to do that right now. Some of them are worse than others, you know, as you might expect. The center caps are obviously ruined. That's not uncommon. I'm not particularly worried about it either. For one last bit of inspiration, I had to lay this carburetor up on top of the engine. This is my favorite carburetor in my collection. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's just something I love about a Holley with center hung float balls. Well, now that it's all said and done, it doesn't look like we got much done today, does it? But you know what? Today we did the hardest part. We started back on a project that I have let sit for over a decade. And I'll admit, I was feeling a bit bummed when I started looking at the condition that it was in and how far I had let it go. But you know what? By the time I got everything cleaned up and organized, I started to feel a good bit better, and I actually cannot wait to work on this thing again, and I'm even more excited to drive it for the first time. And if you want to see that, stick around because it's coming soon enough. And if you have a project similar to mine, something you've let sit so long that it makes you sick to look at it, I challenge you to just go out there and start. It doesn't matter if it's something so simple as sweeping the floor. You can't finish if you don't start. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.